So can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're here at the North Andover Common, and I have to tell you, early in the history of this town, this was the center of activity known by the church over here, and also flanked by the hay skills on the other side and the Historical Society. I have to tell you, this is an interesting town. You might want to inquire into the lecture program that the Historical Society has. And some of the things that we're doing today, for instance, we're going to have a doll and carriage bike parade at 12 o'clock, and not to mention pie eating contest as well at 1 p.m. This is for kids, teens, and adults. We're going to have live music on the stage at 3 p.m. and the band is called the Trusting Feet. Now, right now we're broadcasting live from our from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and if you go to channel 22 or 24, you'll be able to see us on camera. Today we have a special moment here because our national anthem singer, Jamie Plagic, did I pronounce that right?
Mm-hmm.
Close enough. Polish name, right?
Yeah.
Good. At any rate, we want to take a few minutes and talk to her because North Andover is very proud of you and your activities and things you've done. One of the things that happened to me, at any rate, was I wanted to find out something about you. So I went on the internet, pulled up Jamie Plagic, and there's something about you in the 5th grade many years ago at Thompson School where you sang the Star-Spangled Banner for a Veterans Day commemoration. We're very proud of you here. You want to know that. So tell me a little bit about yourself if you can.
Okay, so, well, I've always been singing since I was little, and I've always just had a passion for it, and so that kind of just, I don't know, that's like an asset in my life. And then also, I'm a runner, so I'm captain of the track team at my school.
Cross country, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not captain. I wasn't captain of cross country, but I run every season.
Well, I understand last year you were a major contender. They were looking forward to great expectations from you there.
Oh yeah, I was the number
You just
one
graduated,
runner.
right?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, fantastic too. I'm sure you did well, and I understand you're going to be attending. What school is it?
Virginia Tech. I'm studying nutrition to be a registered dietitian.
How did you get into that area?
When I started running, I had just become a vegetarian, and I wanted to, well, my mom actually wanted to make sure I was getting all of the right nutrients and making sure I had like a strong body to like have good performance. So she made me see a nutritionist, and then after I saw the nutritionist, I just started having a passion for healthy lifestyle nutrition.
Right. Have you worked with anyone or anything in the nutrition field?
Yeah, so my nutritionist, I've like been talking to her since sophomore year of high school, and this past year she was my mentor in a capstone project that I did on nutrition. I made my own online blog, and I'm continuing that for as long as I want.
I was going to ask you. I remember my own school days. I was very apprehensive when I made that step to, to go to college. Have you had a chance to visit the campus?
Yeah, I've been there 3 times, I think.
How'd you like it?
I loved it. That's why I chose it.
Those are the things that are going to be one of your most memorable experiences throughout, and will last throughout your life. Surprisingly enough, many friendships are also formed at this time that last for a long time. So whatever it is, make the most of it, because it's it's a fleeting thing at most. And the other is you'll be out in the world before you know it. But I think you have all of the capability of making a success in this regard. Do you have any questions about what we do here?
How long have you been the host on CAM?
I think probably, would you say 7 years, gang? Easy. They're nodding from the behind the camera there, so I think we have a good one. It's interesting in a way. They posed a question to me because I'm very active in the senior center, and they asked would I do some kind of interviewing for an open house that they had, and I was as apprehensive as you are right now, and I threw up my hands, and then I thought, well, I was a school teacher once, and I stood before 34 students or more. I should be able to do this with a piece of cake. So at any rate, that's how I got started. And one of the things you might want to take is public speaking, because being a nutritionist, you're going to have to put forth this message, and you're nodding your head. You may disagree with me, but which is all right. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
I would like to think that I'm a kind-hearted person. I'd stay away from negativity as much as I can. I've stayed away from the destructive behaviors that some high schoolers like.
Well, there are a lot of influences in every direction, and of course you're bombarded by the media as well. And I think for all of us, at any rate, you're steering a good direction. It's going to serve you well. And do you have any questions of us? Here's your opportunity.
Have you lived in North Andover?
I've lived here for about 10 years, and I'm formerly a transplant from California, and I was in business out there the latter part of my life. I have to say, I had a multi-tiered, career, starting with the military, starting initially when I graduated from school. You'll love this. I was very timid, if you can believe that could be the case. And I elected to become a salesman, and I went to work for National Biscuit Company in their internship program. And so I was a cracker salesman for about 5-6 years. And then I said, well, this is not enough for me. I'm going back to school. And so that's exactly what I did. And I was working on my master's degree, and I felt like, well, okay, I need the preparation for another career. So I was striving for teaching. And so I now hold a couple of degrees and an extravagance of experience. One of the things that I did during the Vietnam War was I worked for the government. And I'm very proud of that particular point there, because surprisingly enough, the need for troops that are garrisoned or wherever we have a program called Special Services, and it entails basketball, sports, photography, crafts, and things of this sort. So I worked for them for about 6 years during the the Vietnam War. It was an interesting experience as well. But I don't want to bore you about that because you have the hot seat. So you'll have to tell me a little bit more about it yourself. What are your favorite books or magazines?
Books or magazines? I don't really read that much.
Uh-oh.
Well, I spend most of my time like watching health vlogs and like reading blogs online and stuff.
Hey, if it fulfills
Yeah.
your need, that's the most important part. We're running a little over time as such there, and so we're going to wind this up. But I've enjoyed chatting with you and just taking a few moments, and I hope we didn't make you feel too apprehensive either. Good. Okay, and on that note, we will take it away. Back again, and this time we're doing an interview with the North Andover High School Festival Committee, and they're a volunteer group. And we're here today to see if we can examine what are they doing and how are they utilized in our activities here as some of the festival committee events. And events are things such as the sheep shearing and the festival, Santa's parade, tree lighting, etc. And on that note, why don't you introduce yourselves, if you will. Ladies first.
All right. So my name's Emily. I recently graduated from North Andover High, and I've been volunteering with the festival committee for 4 years now, starting my freshman year.
My name's Patrick. I also recently graduated from North Andover High, and I've been volunteering with the festival committee for 2 years now, starting with my junior year.
What probably is the one event that stands out the most for you?
For me, I definitely say the sheep shearing. I think it's one of like the most popular and largest events that I think this community has, and it's really nice because you see a lot of people come and gather to watch like dog show demonstrations or the sheep get sheared, preparing for the warm weather. And there's also a lot of vendors that are always spread out around the commons, so there's so much to do. It's really hard to kind of get bored.
I personally like the tree lighting a lot, just to have a big part of the town out there in the cold together to do something that's so happy and celebratory. It's just a really cool feeling. It's a unique environment. It's not as big as sheep shearing, but it's still a really cool event to be at.
I love the parades, no matter what.
Oh, the parades are nice.
And every year, it's kind of like when we have those special runs, etc. The town turns out, and you really feel the pride that you have as a resident here. I'm going to ask a couple questions, if I may.
Sure.
You graduated this year.
Yes.
Are you going on to school, or
Yes,
whereabouts
I'll be
are you?
attending Boston University
Boston
this
U?
coming fall. Yep.
I'll be going to the Worcester Polytechnic Institute, WPI.
You're going to be an engineer, huh?
Yes, yeah.
Good for you. And I should ask both of you, how did you get involved in this group?
Well, for me, I heard about this opportunity my freshman year when the volunteer group for high school students was just starting out. So it was basically just me and a couple of my friends just helping out when we could. And we thought the events were a lot of fun. It was really great seeing our hard work pay off with a bunch of families coming around to have a lot of fun and get together. So we all worked together to kind of grow the group a little bit and get more volunteers to make it a regular basis for us to come and do some work.
Did I interview you last year?
You did.
Okay, I left a lasting mark, I'm sure. You did very well, by the way. I have to say, how about yourself?
So in my first 2 years of high school, I didn't get as involved in service work as I would have liked to. So in my junior year, I was really looking for an opportunity to give back to the community a bit. And I was a friend with of Emily's from school, and so when sheep shearing was coming up, she reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to volunteer then, and I had such a positive experience there that I've been pretty much a regular ever since.
It's a real special event. I'm always amazed at how the people turn out. And I mean, mobs. It's probably one of our most popular events, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Am I right in
Yes.
assuming so?
It's very distinctively North Andover.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
which is
and
cool.
that's it too. It's like here on the Common here. A lot of people don't realize, for instance, this was originally a pasture for oxen.
Oh,
And that's how far back we go there. Some doctor, I can't remember his name, but at any rate, he owned the land, and this has been an area for the community to gather in, and it's surrounded by the hay scales on one side. On the other over here, we have the brick building, which is a storefront these days, and over on the other side there by Mass Avenue, we have the Historical Society. And I can't stress enough at any rate, their activities and just putting forth the message of what North Andover is all about. I think we covered, didn't we, what is your favorite volunteering for the festival?
yeah, we talked about
We've
that.
covered a good share of things. Is there any question you might want to ask me? I'm going to put me on the spot.
Okay. How long have you been involved with North Andover festivals like this?
Well, I would say my wife is close by, and she'll attest to the fact that I'm a transplant, because originally I was from California. I was born there, raised there, educated there, and somewhere or another we got together here in North Andover, and so it's kind of like my home away from home, and it's become the most important part of my life.
Yes.
So that gives you some idea, at any rate, where we're from.
Yeah.
So, on that one, did you have some comment or thoughts?
Did I? Well, it's just I feel like that reflects like the nature of our community really well. Like it's close knit, but it's also welcoming, which I appreciate.
It is, yeah. I've always felt like this is a friendly town. Many years ago, when I was stationed in France, I lived on the community, and I would walk to work, and there was a thing where an individual would greet me, bonjour monsieur, and or mademoiselle, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
And it was a very friendly feeling and a good way to start the day. I've incorporated it ever since. I walk this common every day, and pretty close at any rate. And one of the underlying things is I always greet every individual, and it's a good way to start the day.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm going to say thank you both for your efforts and your future educational experience.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
And a real successful one as well. Make the most of it. College years are the best time of all. They really are. Can be, at any rate.
Yeah.
And on that note, we thank you very much for just joining us for a short time and blending in with the spirit of the occasion.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to do it this way.
Yeah. Okay, that works. That's fine.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Back again, folks. This morning we have the opportunity of interviewing a young aspirant for political office. Ryan Lasco is his name, and Introduce yourself, if you will.
Well, thanks for having me, Lester. Yeah, my name's Ryan Losko from town, North Andover, running for state rep, 14th Essex District to replace the seat vacated by Representative Diana DeZoglio. So that's what we're out here
That's a
campaigning.
lucky move for you in a way, I think.
Right.
Capitalize upon it. And this is your first time, am I right?
Yeah, first time running. So it's been an exciting experience from the beginning, and we're just getting started. Right here today, beautiful celebration on the Common. So
it's gorgeous. It really is.
Yeah. So
I was gonna ask you, what school did you graduate from?
So I went to Westfield State University right after I graduated North Andover High School, and so I spent 4 years at Westfield State. Loved the school. It's great.
Well, you were a class officer or something there, weren't you?
I was. I was fortunate enough to be elected class president at the end of my freshman year.
Your charm should have taken care of it all.
Yeah, you're too kind. You're too kind. But yeah, no, that was actually, well, I guess that was my first election.
Oh, okay.
I guess. Not as exciting as all of this, but it definitely was my first election, and we were able to win, and I was able to serve as class president for 3 years.
What did you major in, may I ask?
So I was a dual major, political science and criminal justice, and then I also minored in Spanish language arts.
Well, Spanish will serve you well too for some of your others. It's interesting that you have the attitude that language is important.
Absolutely.
In being able to serve your people.
Language and culture is super important. Yeah. All across the board. We're a melting pot community. We got to know everything about our neighbors.
Now I understand that you've had some experience up at the Hill working as an intern.
Sure. Yeah, I spent a year working for State Senator Don Humison. So great guy, great state senator.
Did you work on his election?
I was fortunate enough to work on his campaign re-election, as well as a couple others across the Commonwealth. So this is my first time running my own campaign. I have worked on a few others for some other guys.
You got a good head start all the way around.
For sure.
The thing about it is practice makes perfect, right?
Right. We're doing our first interview.
Absolutely.
By the time we do the next one, we'll be pros at it.
I'll be looking forward to that opportunity. I really am.
Absolutely.
And you're a very personable young man.
Thank you.
I have to say that one of the things I wanted to touch base on, I understand that you just were working for the DA's office in one of the towns.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So right after I graduated, I actually had the opportunity to do an internship in the district attorney's office in Springfield, and then they hired me. So that was, so everyone talks about, college kids, it's hard to get a job. So fortunate to just get a job right after college, and such a rewarding job. Working with victims and witnesses in the district attorney's office who get thrown into the system and have to navigate the channels. And you're there to advocate for their rights and help them through the process, connect them to social services that they might need in the community. And all in all, it's probably one of the most rewarding jobs anybody can do. It's just really assisting folks through the process, and hopefully, maybe they don't reach the full closure, but trying to just get them to seek justice in their case.
I understand that you have an aspiration to follow in the footsteps of Charlie Baker.
Right.
There's something about his manner that you feel is...
I think Governor Baker's done a great job in his first term. He's a common sense, good government approach is what he takes, and that's something that I would take if I was so fortunate enough to serve on Beacon Hill. Being able to reach across the aisle and work together, know that we all have differences and opinions, but we have to respect each other's opinions and come to the table and figure out how we're going to legislate and how we're going to bring good government back to the taxpayers, and not losing the fact that we are there to serve the taxpayers first. And I think that Governor Baker's done a good job with that, and I want to continue and be a part of that.
I was encouraged by one of your statements that you felt it was important to be able to reach across the aisle to our opponents there as such there. And there's so much dissension in our government these days. It's a turnoff for many of the voters.
Right, and absolutely. And as a young person, I think I can be a mouthpiece for, listen, I'm a young person seeing what's going on, and I want to come in, make it better. If for the folks who maybe lost a little bit of faith, don't worry. There's a younger generation, and we're here to, make it better. If you're a little turned off from government right now, so.
Well, I think you've covered some of the important parts about being a successful politician.
Yeah.
You're going to go far, my friend.
Well,
You really are.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, that's all right. Any other things that you might like to touch on? I might ask, in your college career there, were there any special offices that you held other than?
So within serving as class president, I was a senator in Student Government Association.
Were there some fraternities, clubs, or anything else that you were?
There weren't any real fraternities, but I was able to be. One thing that I thought was fun is I got to be the parliamentarian for the student government. So Robert's Rules of Order, I thought that was a lot of fun for me, and reviewing constitutions and clubs and things like that, like bylaws and stuff of that nature. And just the best part about Westfield is just such a close-knit community. There's a lot of outreach. So there's a lot of civic engagement opportunities, helping out our town days and things of that nature, to really connect students with, the outside community, which is obviously the goal of higher education.
Yeah.
So just a lot of different opportunities just to take advantage of. It was really remarkable.
Certainly sounds like it gave you the foundation to
absolutely.
Be a springboard towards other directions.
Absolutely.
Here. And I think you want to enter into politics, and you want to serve your community.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the highest form of I think of honor. The public's entrusting you to go to Beacon Hill to make decisions to help represent them. Bring back government funding to help do projects and roadways and things of that nature. It really is. It's an honor to serve in that position.
Well, you have a feeling for the profession.
Yeah.
And somewhere or another, I feel like you're going to make a success of it too.
Thank you.
And I hope the rest of the people that have watched us here see that you're a young comer that's going to make a success
Absolutely.
of things there. And we don't have to go into the initial parts of the bandbox or get the vote out or anything like that.
Yeah.
We just wanted to introduce you to the community.
Absolutely.
And I enjoy just chatting with you for a few moments.
Thank you.
And I hope it was reciprocal.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Thank you for having me, Lester.
hey,
honestly a pleasure.
I was delighted to be able to meet you.
Yeah.
And the only other way was I saw you on Facebook.
Yeah.
And by the way, you did a nice job of laying out your.
Thank you.
And
we're doing the best we can. It's the first time running. We're
you're
doing
doing
the best
great.
we can.
It's a good initial step forward there.
Thank you.
And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lester.
And I appreciate the fact that you were as candid as you were.
Yeah. Well,
and we look forward to
Great.
seeing and hearing more about you.
For sure. And if anyone wants to learn more information, they can check out our website. It's electlosco.com.
Good.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Lester.
Thank you very
much.
much. Back again, Lester Rugg here, and we're interviewing various people of the community, and in this instance we have two young ladies. I'm going to tell you, convey to you, this is the way I appear, all of my white-haired gentry. But at any rate, I have to say that you represent the League of Women's Voters, and I thought probably what we would do initially, introduce yourself, if you will.
I'm Violet Slade.
Okay.
Yep, and I'm Heather McNeil.
And do you serve any particular capacities with the League of Women Voters, or?
Currently, we're on the steering committee, and we are today doing voter service.
That's a good place to start. That's for sure. How do you find the spirit of the community as far as your organization is concerned?
Well, it's interesting that almost everybody we have talked to today is already registered to vote. We have the slips, should they not be registered to vote, and that can be done also online. and we have information on that. So we're ready.
You're ready, absolutely. Let's see here. I'm going to look at some of my notes for just a second here. I'm supposed to ask, why are you here today? I think you did pretty well filled it out there as well. How did you get involved with the women's voters?
Actually, well, the true story is that my mother-in-law is a member of the Plymouth League of Women Voters, and she signed me up to join our local League of Women Voters, and that was probably about 11 years ago now. So I've been active for 11 years, and I've met a lot of wonderful people like Phyla and several others, and I've learned a lot about our community and our town, how town government is run, how state government is run. So it's been a great opportunity and a great experience. But currently, our local league, it's a joint North Andover League. We have a steering committee. We do a lot of voter service work, is the crux of what we do. So
Yes.
here in North Andover, we have a candidates forum, typically every March or late February. North Andover CAM helps us out a great deal with producing that, which is wonderful. And our main goal is to get people registered to vote, but also to get people quick ways to get the information they need.
Well, it sounds like that's a capsule, and you've been carrying on the torch ever since, and doing a good job, I'm sure. And what can you tell me too about the League?
Well, for one thing, I will point out that we have at our space here two maps, one which shows the precincts in North Andover, and one which shows your congressional district, because we have congressional elections coming up in November.
We do.
And so people need to be aware of that, as well as the state and local elections in
Right.
November.
Yeah.
The League has two functions. One is voter service, and it's
Okay.
neutral. We never sponsor candidates. However, the other thing that League does is pick issues at the state, local, and national levels and study them for about 2 years, and looking at both sides of any particular issue, and then come to a consensus, an agreement on what we think is the right way to work on the particular issue. Then after that, we can go to the legislatures, the Congress, and talk about whatever it is we're interested in. Only after we've done the studies, though.
You have to do your homework first.
You have to do your homework first, right?
Yeah, a lot of times I think the success of the moment really is in the preparation, and you girls are certainly laying the foundation for a successful endeavor, no matter what issue you do attack.
Right.
And do you feel that we have a strong community as far as voting is concerned, or an apathetic one?
Well, today our sample suggests a strong one. Haven't seen the statistic lately, but I think most of the people we've talked, we've hit two people new to town who were not registered or weren't sure that, because you can vote when you renew your license too. I mean, you can register when you renew your license too. But other than that, everyone we've talked to is already registered, which is a very good sign.
And I think for the most part too, we all often have people running for boards and running for elections. I believe there are 2 people from North Andover at least running for state seats, which is wonderful. So I think people are engaged in voting, and people are engaged in also running for office and working for the town as well.
Not everything is devoted just to the political moment, I would think. You do have other issues that you get behind to champion, shall we say, something like this. I'm not wrong in going this direction, am I?
No. Well, for instance, we did environmental studies a year ago, many years ago, and so when the Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act some years ago, and Clean Air Act, those were things that we lobbied for very hard in Washington and tried to help get it passed, which it did. And so we're
remember
watching
many
that very
years ago,
carefully.
what is it, report about acid rain.
Yeah.
And plastic bottles.
That's another one.
Two major concerns as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we're very strongly behind the bottle deposit
Good.
bill because of the plastic bottles
Right.
and
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah. So people will get involved in the league for one or both of those reasons. For
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the studies, the research, getting involved with issues and supporting legislation, or they might be involved in the voter service aspect of it,
Yeah.
where again we do not support any candidates. We try to get people the information they need so that they can.
How often do you
Well,
meet,
Decide for
by the way?
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically decide for themselves. We should point out too that men are we're very welcoming to men as to join the league too.
Okay.
We just never changed our name.
Well,
Right. So it should be the League of Voters or something like that.
Yeah, right.
it may come to that one of these days.
It might.
too.
It may very well.
That's all right. My wife believes in women's empowerment, and
Okay.
I concur with her. So I don't blame you for reaching out there and waving the banner as such. I posed the question earlier. How often do you meet during the year?
Well, we just elected a new steering committee, so I think those are things that are going to be determined in the next couple weeks,
Okay.
which will be wonderful. But if people are looking for information about us, we have a local website. It's lwv-andovers with an s.org.
Could you repeat that?
Yep, it's lwv-andovers with an s.org. Because again, we're a joint Andover North Andover League, and we also have a Facebook page. So if people want to get their information that way, they can do that as well.
Good. Yeah. Any questions you would like to pose to me somewhere? You could put me on the spot as
Are
well.
you a registered voter?
I have to say that I am,
Good.
and my wife is as well,
That's good.
as all of our family, for that matter. We feel very strongly about exercising our right, and it's not one that you just take lightly by any means. I always worry about the young people coming up because so many of them do not feel that their voice is heard. And somewhere or another, we have to bridge that gap because they're our voters for tomorrow. And I think one of the things that is important is classes in citizenship in the schools. And I don't think enough is being done in that particular direction. But I would like to see more.
Occasionally we run
agree.
a voter's registration in the high school because I should point out that if somebody reaches the age of 16, they can pre-register. And then when they reach 18, they'll automatically be registered to vote.
Yeah.
So they can think ahead. Plan
Well,
ahead.
all we can do is try to prepare good citizens. And we have enough dissension in this world as it is. And I hope we can steer them towards the right path at any rate. And that is become involved.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that is the course of your program anyway. Let's become involved.
Yeah.
And
what
on
we
that
tell-
note, I
tell-
thank you both.
We tell people if you don't vote, you don't get to complain.
Well, you may complain, but it won't do you any good.
That's right, exactly.
Anyway, I want to thank you both for coming in and being candid about, just the things that you talked of that are close to your heart. And I believe in your efforts.
Thank you for having us.
And I thank you both very much for your contributions.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you're out here today to wave the flag and not only do that, but tell us just what's going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And on that note, and on the behalf of CAM, I thank you as well. back again. Lester Rugg here, doing his usual interview somewhere or another. I've been at this most of the morning, and I have to say you couldn't ask for a more beautiful day, but it's a warm one, to say the least. We're here with Andy Furman of the local Merchants Association. Tell us a little bit about the where you come from, what you do, and just things in general.
Yeah, thanks, Lester. Thanks for having us here today, and what a great atmosphere and a great way to celebrate the 4th of July. I'm a 11-year resident of town. I'm raising my family here and just started my own business and joined the North Andover Merchants Association. It's a great association that supports the stay local, shop locally mentality, and really gets the local businesses to get involved in the community and the community involved in shopping at local businesses. It's really a great atmosphere.
Yeah, that to me, from my own experience, because I was a shopkeeper many years ago too, a small business man, and I know a lot of the pitfalls that every owner faces one way or the other, and to have an association is a little bit of support outside of yourself, and it helps a great deal. So tell me about you may have touched on it, but just a little more about the mission of the Merchants Association.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lester, the whole mission of the Merchants Association is community involvement, getting a stay local, shop locally mentality within the community. As the business community supports the overall community and the overall community supports the business community, it creates a really great environment. Business taxes and business revenue helps offset the residential tax base. But more importantly than that, as local businesses get involved in charitable causes, we're giving back to the community, and,
right.
and that's the overall overriding purpose.
Good, yeah. I noticed sometimes you get behind local charitable contributions. Tell us a little bit about how you and your organization support this endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a number of ways. This past spring we held our annual Night to Shine Gala, in which we gave 3 $2,000 scholarships to high school seniors. One scholarship to a North Andover male senior and one to a North Andover female resident. And then new this year, we gave a scholarship to a senior of one of our members. So through charitable contributions through our fall festival and other activities, we'll raise money, give scholarships back into the community. Another way, and this is something I don't think a lot of residents realize is out there, we have a sports scholarship, and what that allows is for families in need to help pay and offset their scholarships for various sporting activities in town. So we've given over 100 sports scholarships through that. We support the Model United Nations, the North Andover Music Association. And Lester, something that was really cool this past spring, a group of middle school robotics students won an opportunity to go to the VEX World Championships held.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really cool for those guys. They did a great job.
Yeah.
And we were able to support that endeavor to allow them to get out to Kentucky for the World Championships.
It sounds like you're giving back to the community, and so often, merchants in general are just engrossed in their own direction, just to be able to put food on the table, more or
Stay
less.
afloat,
It's tough being a small business owner. It really is, as you can attest to.
And that's where I think the stay locally, shop locally, stay local, shop locally mentality comes in. It was interesting. I was recently talking to one of our merchants, and she mentioned, whenever she gets a new customer through the door, she asks, "How did you hear about us?"
Yeah.
And it's, the response is usually, "What do you mean? How'd I hear about you? You're everywhere." Our local merchants are, attending our sheep shearing festivals, this festival that we have here today, the fall festival, a number of organizations, National Night Out. So it's, being involved in the community there, just in and of itself there helps promote your business. And I think that's a great attribute to have.
One thing I wanted to bring out, if I could, we just opened up the farmers market again.
Hasn't that been great?
That's a wonderful program. I saw it, developing as such, and I hope they carry it forward, and that it's as successful as it was last year, and hopefully even more so. All we need is people to come out on Sunday there and tell us a little bit more about how you put this together.
Yeah, there was a separate committee that put that together, and what a fantastic job that group has done. And you talk about carrying that forward. We're actually growing that farmers market with an artisan market one Sunday out of every month. The next one is on Sunday, July 22nd. We even have Smolak Farms donating hay rides from the farmers market to the artisan market, which is down in the mills. So that's pretty cool. What a great way to bring hundreds and on a few occasions thousands of people to the downtown area on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, really supporting those local businesses, supporting locally grown produce and farmers. What an absolute delight that has been.
It's part of the charm of the small town is activities like this, successful ones,
Absolutely.
I might add. One of the last things that I wanted to touch base on, and that is the benefits of belonging to the organization. A lot of times you get a lot of resistance. I can barely make the the nut each month, let alone looking for an additional membership. But tell me a little bit about your membership.
Yeah, so we have over 100 members. The organization started in 2009, so we're approaching our 10th year. Member benefits, I think the biggest is being involved and giving back to the community. And like I said earlier, it's that cycle. If the business community gives back to the larger community, and the larger community gives back and supports local businesses, then that's going to come back through the scholarships and the other activities that we do. But in addition to that, listing on the North Andover Merchants Association website, promoting your business and your activities in our social media. We have over 2,500 followers on Facebook. The Merchant Scholarship Fund. So there are a lot of ways that members can be involved and be active and promote their business while supporting the local community as well.
Well, I know that any association like this, the bottom line is to promote one's business, but this gives an opportunity of a platform for them to draw upon. There is strength in numbers.
There's absolutely strength in numbers.
And it does make a big difference. Andy, I've really enjoyed just chatting with you, and the thing about it comes across is your enthusiasm. I've enjoyed every bit.
Thank you very much.
It's our
Appreciate
pleasure.
you guys coming out on a hot day, and hopefully your viewers come down and enjoy the festivities as well. And happy 4th of July to you as well.
And to you and your family.
Thank you.
And on that note, folks, we will see you on our next interview. Bye for now.
Hi, I'm Sam Levy, and I'm here at the North Andover Independence Day celebration, and I'm talking to Christina Minicucci. And would you like to introduce yourself? Tell me a little bit about where you're from.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my name is Christina Minicucci, and I'm running for state representative here in the 14th Essex District, so it's half of North Andover, a little bit of Lawrence, a little bit of Methuen, and some of Haverhill. And I'm from North Andover. I was actually born in Lawrence and moved here when I was very young, and spent most of my life here in North Andover. I'm married, and I've got 3 kids, and we're living here in town too. My background really isn't in politics. I've really been in business most of my life, and but I've always been really involved in the community, sitting on the board of directors at the Lawrence YWCA. I've done some work with Lawrence Community Works, and I'm currently sitting on the school building committee in North Andover, as well as the master plan committee. So I've got a lot of community involvement, and so this is kind of an exciting next step. When the seat opened up, I looked around and said, I think that this is a good opportunity for me to do something positive and have a greater impact really on our town and the Merrimack Valley in general. So.
That's great. And how are you enjoying today at the 4th of July celebration? And what have you been doing here for your campaign?
Well, it's warm, but it's fun. I've just been walking around talking to people from town and some voters, some just residents. My kids are sort of going to be here in and out throughout the day, but they're apparently not as tough as me. And I'm enjoying myself passing out literature and just getting to know people. So.
Yeah. And what would you like to do if you were elected state representative? And what are your plans?
Yeah. Well, my primary focus is I have 3 kids and they're in the public school system here in North Andover. And so education has always been really important to me in public education. So that was really what got me interested in, having a representative from our area that has, like a little skin in the game, right? Have some people. And I think it's important for all of the cities and in the district also. And so that's really what got me interested. But things that are really important to me are sort of, creating healthy homes for people and, a more stable environment. So making sure that people get paid a good wage, so equal pay for equal work, and supporting workers and making sure that they can have a good life, and housing, and making sure it's a real crunch here in the Merrimack Valley, and it's a big issue for a lot of people in Lawrence when I'm out talking to people, that there is more housing and safe and affordable housing for people. So kind of all those things together.
And that is really important with all the small businesses in North Andover, especially all the ones that we've seen today.
Yes, exactly.
And so what are your next steps for your campaign? Do you have anything set up that you want to do?
Yeah. Well, right now I'm just hitting the pavement, I guess. So I've got myself and I've got a lot of volunteers who have been great, who have stepped up to help, and we're knocking on doors, talking to residents of all the communities, as well as we've just had some neighborhood meet and greets, and we have a bunch that are scheduled. So people from any of the areas in my district, in Lawrence, Methuen, North Andover, Haverhill, they'll all be getting notifications in the mail and via phone to come and come down to a neighbor's house and get to meet me. So I'm doing a lot of that too. And then just coming to events like this and talking to people.
Yeah, you must have heard an impact from the people you've talked to. How do you think the residents of North Andover reacting to your campaign?
I feel like I've had some pretty positive response, and what's the most fun about campaigning for me really has been running into people and them saying, "Oh, I know who you are. I've been reading about you. I'm so excited to support you," and that sometimes surprises me that my name is out there that I don't know. And it's been really great to go into the other communities too, and see kind of the similarities and the differences between North Andover and the other places, and just kind of making those connections. And so it's been fun to see who kind of already knows me and getting to meet new people too. So yeah.
Well, it was great talking to you today. I wish you the best of luck for the rest of your campaign.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sam, back again at the North Andover Independence Day celebration. And now I'm talking to Rob. And would you like to introduce yourself and tell me a little about the Lions Club, which you're a part of?
Absolutely, yes. So Rob Leonard, I'm a resident of North Andover. I've been here in town for about 11 years, and I joined the Lions Club 2 years ago. I had a friend that was a member, and he said they were looking to recruit some new members, some younger people to join the club, and I went to a meeting September 2 years ago, and it was just a great group. So the Lions Club is here in North Andover, just about 20 members. It's really a nice group of people that just want to serve the town and serve the community. Lions Club actually is the largest service organization in the world. It has over 1.4 million members and serves over 200 countries. So a lot of people are familiar with Rotary and Lions, but they may not be fully aware of what happens in the two clubs. The Lions really kind of specializes predominantly in eye research, eye care. You may have seen a Lions eye mobile around town or in other communities where the iMobile will go into the town, you get a free health screening, and they check your eyes for glaucoma and other reasons. So the iMobile, hopefully we're going to have one in town the next year because they're getting a new mobile van. So the Lions Club also in Houston after the hurricane last year, they were one of the first service organizations on the ground to help victims of the hurricane in Houston. And they do a lot of things around town. We do scholarships, we have yard sales, we help out at sheep shearing. Every year, until this year, we had a circus, the Kelly Miller Circus. That was our chief fundraiser. But this year, the Kelly Miller Circus had a transition ownership, so they didn't come to New England. Right. But so we do lots of little things kind of behind the scenes, and one of the things that we like to do for the community, again, is scholarships. But it's a huge organization. A lot of towns surrounding have Lions Clubs, and again, not very well known, but we'd love to get more members and kind of make people more aware of the work that we do in local communities.
Yeah, and would you like to expand on how you do try to get more members involved in your club, and how you can grow it so that you can have more service opportunities?
Sure, you bet. And in fact, so like at the sheep shearing, for example, about a month ago, we had a booth. We were serving hamburgers and hot dogs, but it also kind of talking to people that came over and saw us, saying, if you'd like to join the Lions Club, we're looking for new members, especially younger members that could help out and give us a little bit muscle behind some of our events. At the farmers market last year, we were there many times. We had a booth, and we were just trying to talk to people and see if they would be interested in becoming members. We find that a lot of people do become members kind of at the end of their careers and when they're retiring, and then they want to get involved in the community. But we're working in Boston or working somewhere else 40, 50 hours a week, and they just didn't have time to serve their communities. So a lot of it's just word of mouth, and again, we're trying to do a little better job of getting more people involved.
Yeah. And how can they join this organization? Is there like an online website or just someone to reach out to?
Sure. So there's the North Andover Lions Club has a website, so just Google North Andover Lions, and you'll find us. We meet the second Wednesday of every month at Joe Fish. So actually the nice thing is also we once a month we meet and we have a really nice meal at Joe Fish. It's usually 20 to 30 people. It's great to meet people, to talk to other people from the community. Sometimes we have Lions Club members from other communities that will come to our meetings. So again, the second Wednesday of every month at 6:30 at Joe Fish. So you're welcome to come anytime as a guest. Or you could call me at Rob Leonard, 978-258-1178 to get membership information. But again, Google North Andover Lions Club, and we do have a website, and they get information there. But between our monthly meetings and just being involved in the community, if you ask enough people, usually somebody knows somebody, a member of the club.
Yeah. And what has been your favorite service opportunity that the Lions Club has provided, specifically locally?
Sure, and in fact, I was involved. We did have an iMobile a few years ago, and somebody was treated there, and they had a physical exam, and that person was told they had high blood pressure and should really go see a doctor. So I heard kind of after the fact that the person went to the doctor, and in fact they needed surgery. So again, this iMobile does a full kind of a screening with blood pressure and other things, and so for the maybe some members of the community that don't get to a doctor every year, if we do have this iMobile, hopefully in the next year, we'll advertise it to get involved in that. Go get a physical and check your eyes. One other thing that we're doing this year is diabetes awareness. So we have a campaign around the country to increase the awareness of diabetes, and it's higher incidence in the United States. But then again, just working at sheep shearing and a lot of the smaller events that we have, like the circus last year was just a great event, and a lot of the people that came to the circus said, circuses are really dying around the country, and we had elephants in the circus, and some people said, this is the only opportunity I'll ever get to see an elephant, because again, circuses are not as prevalent around the country. So a lot of people were very appreciative that we actually hosted a circus, and they could see the the North Andover Lions Club Circus for a very nominal price, and that was really a nice event as well.
Yeah, that is really great.
Right.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about the Lions Club?
Again, if you're young or old or just looking to get involved in the community, it's a terrific group. The North Andover does not have a Rotary Club, and the town of Andover does not have a Lions Club. So it's not just for North Andover. We have some people that are members that come from other communities. So if you're listening from another town or know somebody in another town that wants to get involved, it's a great organization, about 20 plus people. Everybody's really dedicated to it, and even if you just want to start slow and just come to our monthly dinners. We just had Andrew Maylor a couple months ago, the town manager. We had Diana Zazzaglio, our state rep. She spoke. So we try to have some interesting speakers as well. So it's a social group, but also we try to do good things for the community.
Great. Well, it was great to talk to you and to learn about the Lions Club. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, we're here at North Andover Common, and we have 4th of July festivities, and I'm here with Alex Vega. He is running for the Registry of Deeds for the North Andover, for the Essex County District.
Yes.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So
for having me.
tell us a little about yourself.
Sure. My name is Alexi Vega. I am running for Northern Essex Registry of Deeds. Born in Methuen, raised in the city of Lawrence. I'm currently the chief assessor in the city of Lawrence. I'm happily married to my high school sweetheart, and I have 2 young boys, Alexi and Adrian, who are with us this afternoon at the North Andover 4th of July celebrations.
Great. Wow. Welcome, welcome. Why are you running for the?
Well, I believe that the last 2 candidates that the Registry of Deeds have been no-show, lifelong politicians, and I plan to change that by being the face of the office and representing all 4 communities and supporting the staff that's currently there. The bad stigma that the registry has had over the last 12 years, felt like I needed to do something about it, and I'm not happy with the current political climate of our country. And instead of complaining about it, I'm doing something about it. That's why I'm here, and I'm running for Registry of Deeds, and I hope to bring positive changes to that department.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you said the 4 districts. So what towns will you be representing?
Yes, so the 4 towns of Andover, Lawrence, Methuen, and North Andover.
Oh, wonderful. So if you're in any of those districts, remember him for your votes. What does the Registry of Deeds do?
So the Registry of Deeds, I'm currently the chief assessor in the city of Lawrence, like I mentioned earlier. The Registry of Deeds is the legal department, houses all the legal records for all the real estates in the 4 communities. So whether it be your mortgage, your plot plans, your tax title, that's where all the documents are stored and recorded for permanent, lifelong. As long as you own the property, you can research the property going back into early 1900s, 1800s, et cetera. So it's a very serious department. And as a chief assessor in the city of Lawrence for over 18 years, I'm well versed in real estate, valuation, administration, so I know the ins and outs of that department, and I hope that I can bring positive change.
Oh, it seems like you have some good qualities to do that. What other questions?
Yep. So I do have a webpage. You can find all my information on there. It's voteforvega.com. We also have our Facebook and Twitter accounts on those on the webpage. So we do have most of our events that we've participated in over the last several months. We've been having positive feedback from all 4 communities. The campaign has been going tremendously positive. We were the first candidate working full-time. It's been difficult to run a campaign, but we've managed working 40 hours a week and full-time as a candidate for Registry of Deeds. We were the first candidate to make the ballot and the first Latino in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to also make the ballot. So we've been working hard, and we definitely need your support on September 4th to bring positive change and bring a different image to that department.
Oh, wonderful. That's what I was just going to ask when the voting is. So September 4th, come out to the polls and vote. and I wish you luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If I can add the webpage one more time, it's www.voteforvega.com. Thank you so much for having us.
Good afternoon. Thank you for watching us live here at the Common for the 4th of July festivities. We've had a successful doll carriage and bike parade. The children were so adorable. They all had so much fun. They're all heading to the pools now, I bet, cool off. Happening now is the pie eating contest. I wonder if the same boy who won for the last 2 years is going to win again this year. We'll have to stay tuned for that, but we're going to bring you over there now and see what's happening at the pie eating contest.
Paper or on the table.
Do we have 6?
Table's clean, they're brand new.
5. Okay, we have 5. All right. There's ponchos in front of you. Make sure you put the ponchos on.
Keep it clean.
How do we give them half? Oh, that's how we give them half.
There we go.
The tablecloth is nice and clean.
Let me see this, buddy.
With the paper, yes. We have one. No hands, face only. First one to finish their pie, first place, second and third, and so on. Are you ready? On your mark? Let's start eating. Now let's cheer them on. Come on, let's hear nice cheers. The more people cheer, the faster they eat. Let's hear those cheers. Yell out the name that you want to win. Let's hear the names. Wow. Wow.
Good job, keep going.
Don't forget, breathe, you gotta breathe. And if you're thirsty, drink some water.
Good job.
Make sure you take a breath. Take your breaths. Come on, I don't hear anybody's name being called. Come on. There we go.
You know, you don't have to stay in your chair. You can stand up.
You can stand up if you want. You don't have to sit in the chair.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, see, you stand up, it's easier for you.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Look at.
Stand up, yeah. You can dig right in.
Now you're getting into it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
You guys are doing great.
Come on, I don't hear any cheers. Look at them go. Wow, it's incredible. Is it good? You know, after you get done eating this, I bet you'll never have another blueberry pie till next year.
Have some water. Drink some water.
You can drink water. Take a nice slug of water. It's kind of hot. Come on, just a little bit more.
Oh, good man.
She's doing fantastic.
Good man.
It's just filling left over there.
That's the best part.
Yes, that's part to eat.
Yeah, unless it's like stipulated. It's
Yeah.
great. Blueberry is good.
Well, that's...
You're doing good. Kids, you're doing real good.
You're enjoying it more than anybody else, I think.
Wow.
You're like savoring it.
Take your time.
I like these blueberries.
Nice and easy. Chew and swallow. Chew and swallow.
Don't worry about my slice.
Okay, we're cooler.
Look at.
Not today.
Everybody gets a ribbon, Zachy. Don't worry about it. Yep.
Everybody's a winner.
Yeah, you watch through call, all right? Okay.
She's close. She's real close.
Very close.
It's a two-way race here, I think.
There's a lot of
Two-way
close.
race. This one's, there's no...
This gentleman here, look at.
Oh, she's got all her crusts.
Yep, crust is
They're
gone.
doing
She's on the
really good.
blueberries.
Oh, I think
She's
we
a
have
pro.
We have a front runner here.
Got a front runner. She gets a little bit of crust there.
He's almost there.
She's almost there.
I got this.
Look at her.
So these are getting progressively bigger. Are the adults going to be a whole pie?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
The whole pie. The whole pie of the half
Actually, do we have a winner yet?
Wait, one more. I'll let her get to it. And she is there.
There she is, first winner right there, first prize. Come on, we got second and third yet. Second and third. Keep going. Congratulations, hon.
Now don't leave the stage.
Here's a wet nap for you. There you go. Have some water. Have some water. Second and third coming up.
Hi, we're here live at the Common, and I'm here with Fred, and he's here at the Common this year with the Jimmy Fund, Dana-Farber and Jimmy Fund. He's here having a raffle. Would you like to tell us a little about your booth today?
Yes, it's our first year here on the 4th of July festivities. We've been here for sheep shearing for the last 11 years. Today we have a raffle where we have items that range from $10 to $20, and it's extremely family friendly where you can spend $6 and get yourself a $20 prize, and absolutely nobody loses. As long as the child tosses the beanbag and it stays in North Andover, they win choice.
Oh,
so it's pretty easy to win.
That's
all
wonderful.
Proceeds go to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and Jimmy Fund, and it's a wonderful arena here that you have today. I'm glad to be a part of it, and I expect to be here in years to come. We also have a second event, which is called the Boston Motorcycle Marathon Ride, which takes place August 12th. This will be our 6th year. That ride by itself has raised over $100,000. And it started from scratch. And it's all based from North Andover. So it's been a wonderful endeavor, and I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Definitely. And how long have you been involved with the Jimmy Fund?
I've been with the Jimmy Fund for 12 years.
12 years.
My wife was a breast cancer survivor twice, and Dana-Farber saved her life, and that's when I decided to jump in with both feet. And I've been fundraising ever since. I have done the Boston Marathon 4 times. I decided last time I did it, like, we should probably do this on motorcycles. It was just a fluke. I called Dana-Farber. They said if I wanted to try it, we could do it. We were anticipating 100 motorcycles our first year. The bombing had just happened.
Yes.
And we ended up with 1,000 motorcycles.
Wow.
Over 2,000 people. And that initial ride raised about $25,000.
That's wonderful. So the Dana-Farber and Jimmy Fund, what's your accomplishment? So you raise all this money, and can you tell us a little bit about where the money goes to and how helpful it is to parents, families going through this crisis? And
when you're diagnosed with cancer, it not only affects you, it affects your entire family. It also, it can affect cousins, aunts, uncles. Everybody gets involved. It's a very traumatic time in one's life. And where our money goes, we get to pick where it goes. So we send half of it to research, and we send the other half to children with cancer that can't afford treatment. And that's where every dime goes, and that's where we'll always go. And we have many sponsors. The first year we started, we just had a couple of small sub shops. Now we have Coca-Cola, we have Geico, we have Perkinama, we have some very large corporations that sponsor us. We've come a long way in 6 years. We've had as many as 1,528 motorcycles on an event, over 3,000 people.
wow, that's wonderful. And yeah, you just want the families to know they're not alone. There's always someone there to help you, and great people like you to organize these events. It really makes it great for the families to know that get involved, you can help out as little as you can, as much as you can. There's information at his booth too if you would like to join one of the teams. Feel free to stop by the booth. You can get information. I'm sure more the merrier to help out with these causes.
That's right. Everybody has been touched with cancer in one way or another, including myself. And this just is a way for us to give back. And as hard as it is, and it's very difficult when you're a volunteer, but you get it back in Trump at day's end. It's a wonderful organization. I'm very proud to be part of it.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here this year on the 4th of July.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Hi, we're here at North Andover Common, and we are here with our pie eating contest champion. And what is your name?
Alex.
Alex. And what school do you go to, Alex?
Franklin.
Franklin. And you'll be in the 5th grade this year, upcoming year?
Yep.
And I hear that this is your 3rd year winning the pie eating contest, so that must be kind of an accomplishment for you.
Yes.
What got you into pie eating contests anyways?
Normally I just like to eat fast, so then I heard we have a pie eating contest, so I was like, I have to try that. And even I wasn't really expecting myself to win at all, but then the first year I did, so the next year I had to do it, and then I won that year, and then I just keep getting better, and this year I won. So I'm gonna say 3 wins. That's good. I don't really want to do it next year because 3 wins is good for me.
It's good for you, and you'd have to go up to a next category. Maybe you'll see what happens during the year. Do you know the times? Have you changed your time each year, or do you know if it's been
Yes,
timed?
I think last year might have been around 3 minutes. This year was 1 minute. 2 years ago, I think it might have been around 5 minutes.
Oh, so you've increased your time. You've decreased, I should say. So is there anything you want to tell to the people that are doing it next year, what your strategy is?
Don't put the whole thing in your mouth.
No?
At a time. That's a horrible idea. I did it last year, and I saw the paramedics coming over. So they were very concerned.
Yeah,
so don't do that.
Pace yourself.
Yes.
Make sure you do it a little, drink a little in between. Or do you just
drink a lot after?
Drink a lot afterwards, yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about in there?
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. YouTube channel. So what is your YouTube channel?
I'm only gonna say subscribe, nothing else.
Okay.
You can say what it is.
Super Turtle.
Super Turtle. Do you like turtles?
I don't know. I just called it that because.
You just called it Super Turtle?
I was thinking of something random.
Oh, well, that is kind of random. Yeah.
So.
Well, congratulations again on your win, and hopefully you'll change your mind and you'll go up to the tween category next year and try it out and just see what happens.
Hi, welcome back. My name's Phyllis Jones, and I chair the North Andover Commission on Ability Assistance. It's our Disability Issues Commission. And I'm joined right now with Paul Nicotello. I knew I was going to mess that up. And he is our current Register of Deeds. You're running for re-election?
Yes, Phyllis, and it's great to be here, and it's a great day, a little bit too hot, but it's okay. We've got a nice fan on us, and yes, I'm the current Register of Deeds.
Let me first ask, what does the Register of Deeds do?
Well, the Register of Deeds keeps all your mortgages, your deeds, your discharges, anything to do with your real estate property. We house it at the Registry of Deeds. We preserve it. We make sure the records are maintained with integrity. And so if someone, for example, comes up and says, hey, I own the house.
Yep.
You're going to say, hey, here's a certified copy of my deed.
Mhm.
I own the house. So think of it as a big library, but we house all your documents in it.
And your area, do you do the whole Commonwealth, or do you do just a specific part of Massachusetts?
No, I do Lawrence, Methuen, Andover, and North Andover.
And where is the office located in case I needed to go there?
The office is at Riverwalk, 354 Riverwalk, better known as Sal's
That's right over on the other side of 490.
Right on the other side of 495.
495.
Suite 354, third floor, entry C.
How long have you been the Register of Deeds?
I've been there for 5.5 years.
Why are you running? You like it?
Well, I like it, and I have. We've made a lot of changes to the registry itself. For example, we are now established a new customer service desk, which has been in place for 5 years.
Okay.
We staff it with 2 highly trained representatives. We also have bilingual folks there manning the area. We have a Spanish line for those people who have sometimes have some questions and can't always articulate it the way it should be. So we have it in their native tongue. We've redone our website. It translates into over 48 different languages. We run a very aggressive consumer protection piece. We're always out at our senior centers.
We're out at town meetings, we're out at town halls. We do informational sessions on your homestead. We have like a one-stop homeowners resource center. You'd be amazed at how many scams are out there, and we stumbled upon it by going out to different, whether we're at a senior center or at a library. People come into us and say, hey, here's, I got this letter in the mail. For $83, they can give me a copy of my deed. And, I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God. And so that happened about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've been out ever since. You can get a free copy if you go on our website, lawrencedeeds.com, or you can give us a call, 978-557-1900.
Can you repeat that again? A little slower.
978-557-1900. You can ask for me, but we're out there all the time. We'll check and see if you have a homestead on your property. If you don't, we can give you the correct forms. We can't give legal advice, but you'd be amazed at how many people come through our door with different issues, but we really try to point them in the right direction.
Now, I come in, I don't know anything, and I'm like, and I'm reporting a scam. Do I need to make an appointment? Can I just come in? Can I pick up the phone and ask for some assistance?
Oh, absolutely. Again, just give us a call. You can ask for me. Sometimes we're out on different home ownership seminars, or we're doing some office hours off-site, because part of this is to bring the registry out to the people who I represent. And it's important that they feel part of it, and we make ourselves accessible during work hours and after work hours to meet everybody else's schedule.
And what are the hours?
So our recording hours from 8 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Monday through Friday. We're open till 4:30, but we stop recording at 4 o'clock.
So if I need something recorded that same day, I need to be there prior to 4?
Yes, you should be.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, nobody wants to be doing something at the 5 minutes of when they're leaving.
No, and we can, some people get there at 4:05, and the way our computer system is set up, we can't record after 4 o'clock. It's just how it is.
Now let me ask you, because as you now learned, I'm chair of the town's commission on ability assistance. What do you do for people who need a little extra assistance because they're disabled?
So part of our new website, it is handicapped accessible. We have it both for eye impaired folks, and we're working on something for hearing impaired as well. The technology is great. We have an IT person that's been working on this for a little bit now, and we're trying to make it easy. We do have handicapped accessibility, as we always do. And honestly, if someone calls me up and they really have an issue, we'll try to accommodate as best we can. We also do notary services for free as well.
Wonderful.
And if you are a notary and you're getting reappointed, you don't have to go to Boston anymore. You can come to our office, and we can
so when my
swear you
term's
in.
up,
Right.
I can come back too.
Right,
Yeah.
you can come back and you can visit us, and we do all of that. We don't charge for any of that. Again, it doesn't really fit into what the registry does, but everything is changing today, and we try to be as accommodating as we can to the public.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Paul. I'd like to thank you for coming on.
Oh, no problem.
Enjoy the rest of our festivities we've got going on today, and happy Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July. We'll probably see you at the fireworks tonight.
Hopefully.
And hey, just a little thing. It's, if you ever want to file your deed, it's like filing your nails, but we'll try to keep it. I don't know.
Does my nails. So. Thank you again.
Thanks
Paul.
again, Phyllis.
Take care.
Take care.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Phyllis Jones, and I'm joined right now by Abby Kowalski. Am I pronouncing that right, sweetheart? And why are you joining us right now?
I won first place in the pie eating contest.
All right. High five on there. High five. Where do you go to school?
Franklin School.
Franklin? Now, you're how old?
10.
10. So are you entering the 5th grade, or did you just graduate?
I'm entering the 5th grade.
Oh, okay. My son's entering the 5th grade at the Atkinson this year. He was actually up there with you. You guys worked really hard. How was all that blueberry pie?
Good.
Good? Good. Mom gonna let you eat again today?
Maybe.
Maybe. Gotta drink a lot of water though. Gotta drink a lot of water. So, who was your teacher this past year?
Mrs. Carroll.
Mrs. Kara? Did you enjoy the 4th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the best part of coming in here today? Aside from winning the pie eating contest.
I haven't thought of that. Probably just hanging out with my family and friends.
That is a very good reason to enjoy coming. Very good. A little hot out today though, huh? Yeah. What do you normally do in terms of, do you do anything extracurricular after school? You know, those activities, you know, dance or sports or anything? You do what?
This softball season ended a couple weeks ago, and I do horseback riding. So.
Softball. I love baseball. I do. What position did you play?
Mostly catcher.
That's not an easy position.
Yeah.
Not an easy position. Did you get your team to win more often than not?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess.
I'm sure you were great about it. I'm sure Mom would say you were fantastic too. Hi, Mom. Yeah. Anything you'd like to know about? Ask me about what's going on here?
Not really.
Not really? Have you ever been on camera before?
Yeah.
Yeah? What did you do?
I went to the lake. There was this winter, like, I don't know, thing on the common, and like I got interviewed. So.
Oh, cool. When was that?
It was like it was like the Christmas time.
Was it this past Christmas time?
Yeah.
And do you have fun doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, I hope you have fun enjoying the rest of the day and spending time with your family. You're going to do the fireworks tonight?
Yes.
Yeah? You're going to go there? You're going to stay here? You're going to watch them from home?
I'm going to go somewhere else. We haven't found where we're going to go,
But you're going to enjoy them nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Abby, for coming on board. And congratulations again. Want to show us that blue ribbon again? Yeah, I think she deserves a round of applause, everybody. That wasn't an easy competition. Like I said, my son was up there too, and you guys worked really hard. Well, thanks again, Abby. Hi, welcome back. I'm Phyllis Jones. I'm chair of the North Andover Commission on Ability Assistance. If you missed me the first 2 times and you're just coming on board. And I'm joined right now by Sean Daly.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Sean.
Nice to meet you.
And you're here to talk to us about?
The July 4th road race, which is being put on by the North Andover Booster Club. There's a kids race kicking off at 8 a.m. You can register for that online at NorthAndoverBoosterClub.com. That costs us $5. There's a adult and children 5K for anyone that can run it. And same registration. It's $35. The first 600 registrants get a T-shirt. The first 1,000 get a medal when they finish, and the kids get a popsicle and a medal.
A popsicle in this weather, they're going to need it. Everybody's going to need that popsicle.
That's right.
How many people typically run this?
Around 1,000. Right now, we're at about 800. So
what's the route?
The route, it's going to start on Mass Ave, right next to the Common, right before the traffic circle. It goes up Johnson Street. It takes a left on Marble Ridge, then a left onto Salem Street, left onto Milk Street by the fire station, a right onto Chestnut, a right onto Andover, and then right onto Mass Ave, and finishes up right in front of the Textile Museum.
Now, the registration fee, obviously it's going to something. It's Boosters Club?
That's correct. The North Andover Booster Club covers various sports in town, including football, basketball, field hockey, volleyball for both boys and girls, cheerleading. There's something I'm missing.
I'm sure you'll think of it later. Now also, for those of us who can't run 5K, is there a walking ability towards the end of everything if people want to just participate but they can't run?
Absolutely, and there's plenty of people that do that, myself included.
Yeah, and I'm sure in this heat more people would rather walk it than run it anyway.
Right.
You gonna be handing out water bottles or something?
There's going to be 2 water stations along the race route. There's going to be water back at the finish. There's going to be food with some fruit, energy bars, and various other things like that. There's also going to be a beer truck there at the finish line.
For those of us who are 21 and older.
21 and older, absolutely.
Do people win any prizes?
The top 3 in each category win it's a plaque.
Okay.
There's not a money prize or anything.
No. But I mean, a prize is a prize.
Prize is a prize.
My son just did the pie eating contest, and he got a little ribbon, and he didn't win, but he got a ribbon, and everybody should get a little prize just for participating.
Absolutely, and everyone is getting, the first 1,000 that finish, which I anticipate will have about that, will get a medal. So
that's fantastic.
Everyone comes away with something.
Nope, that's fantastic. And you do a little good for the community.
Absolutely.
In between.
So some of the money in the past that Booster Club has given out, we paid $14,000 last year to have the gym floor replaced at the middle school.
Wonderful.
We just recently at the North Andover Senior Awards Night gave out $9,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors, and among other things.
I can tell you as a parent of a high schooler who's going to be having a kid going off to college, I'm sure sooner than not, any money helps when it's coming going to college. So it's just a lot. So thank you for doing that on behalf of those of us who have children coming up soon.
Absolutely.
Well, it's getting so close to July 4th, and it's running on July 4th. Can people sign up online? Do they have to come in person?
So they can sign up online until Monday at noontime, and that would be going to the website northandoverboosterclub.com.
Okay.
And there's a little tab for the July 4th road race. After that, they can come in. We're having a bib pickup Tuesday between 3 and 7 p.m. at the youth center for bibs and t-shirts. They could register there. And then race morning from 6:30 till about 8 o'clock, we'll also have registration. I would advise anyone to register ahead of time for that. I'm assuming race day would be kind of crazy.
Usually when you're talking about those events, whether they be races or charity walks, usually that if you wait till the last minute, it can get kind of crazy.
Absolutely.
So, no, it's great. And I wish you luck in the event. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for supporting the community.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Phyllis Jones, and I am joined right now by Officer Will Enright of the North Andover Police Department. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to give you a personal thank you and the entire police department. My commission, the Commission on Ability Assistance, we meet with you guys or in your community room once a month, and if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a home, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
Please pass that along to everybody.
I will. Thank you very much for that.
Now, you grew up here in town.
I did, born and raised.
You came back. Tell us a little bit, you're the school resource officer at the high school?
I am. So I'm stationed at the high school. My office is there. And when I work my shift, it is in the high school dealing with all juvenile issues and anything that might be occurring with high school students or in the high school itself.
So if a student wanted to have your assistance in something, how would they go about doing that?
A lot of kids, other than directly approaching me, I am very visible in the high school. They have guidance counselors, teachers, and the administration there that I'm on their walkie system. Whenever they need me, they can call me. And a lot of kids are more comfortable with talking through things with their guidance counselors, and then if they want me to come and give them my either help or perspective, I'm usually right around the corner.
Do you find that the kids are okay feeling your, because I know with everything going on in the world right now, people get a little weirded out, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I feel just once kids kind of interact with me and they see me and we break the ice, is what I call it, they are more comfortable. Some of them are a little hesitant at first, but just being there and being visible and just being a person with them, they usually tend to warm up pretty quickly as kids.
Well, once they get past that initial fear of, what's he going to do to me?
They feel you out a little bit, but they're still kids at heart, so.
Well, I'll admit, us adults do the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're on summer break for schools.
We are.
What are you doing now?
So Our chief just started a new program that myself and Officer Mark Wilson are doing for the first time in North Andover, which we call CPOP. It stands for Community Police Officer Program. And we're out in the community, like events like today, just trying to have positive interactions, talk to people, whether it be positive or complaints, negative, we'll field those and try to address them. But also it's just about being out there and letting people that can see us in a positive light, then instead of usually when we're called, it's for something negative when you call the police, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, you don't want to be associated with just negative stuff.
Yeah.
You guys do a lot of good for the community. Like I said, you give my commission a home, you know, on Saturdays when we meet on about once a month. Yeah. And so a lot of people may not know that you guys are you're there. Yeah. You're not just out there fighting crime, but you're there in the community.
Yep. And that's the tough part. Like on patrol, obviously, we get sent to the calls. When people call us, it's usually not very good or they're having a bad day. So I'm happy this new program, we're geared toward seeing you in your normal day, just being out there with you.
Excuse me, I think I got a bug in my eye. Now you said about complaints, right?
Yeah.
So I'm complaining. What can you do about the weather?
Well, we can explain to you that we can't do much about the weather.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, but
no, in all seriousness, what are sort of the things that you're trying to, I understand it's a brand new program, but what are some of the things that you're trying to do to...
So obviously, like I said, using our high school example, breaking the ice, it's kind of the same way with the community now. Breaking the ice with people in the community where they maybe are comfortable to give us crime tips about things they see, or even if it's parking complaints, if it's questions on law or things that they can do, bylaws or state laws, to be comfortable enough just to approach a police officer and ask it so they can get the answers or we can find them the answers.
So that people aren't afraid.
Yeah, or afraid and just would rather, like a lot of people are hesitant to walk up to us and ask us a simple question that we might be able to answer easily, and then that could be a big thing for them.
Now, why did you choose working as an officer?
So I have roots in this town. I call myself a townie. I love this town. And I always, going through college, I took criminal justice, huge interest in just in the field of helping people and in law. And this career I kept going in that direction, and I'm here and I love it. I've really grown into it.
And you've been how long on the force?
2.5 years I've been out of the academy.
Thank you very much for serving. People can't see it necessarily on the camera, but you've got on the shirt, you've got on the vest underneath. Yeah. You know, we're walking around, we're all hot, wearing the cotton. So thank you very much for coming and doing this for us and helping to make our community a safer place.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Jones. Welcome back. And I'm joined right now by Donna Fanoff.
Yes.
And you are a registered nurse for
I
30
am.
years.
Yes.
You're with Holy Family.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're on specifically to talk to us about the Patient Safety Act.
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, this is state legislation to have limits on the number of patients that nurses are responsible in acute care hospitals to take care of at one time.
Acute care?
Meaning in a hospital where patients are acutely ill.
I can tell you from my own personal experience, 2017, so it would have been last year, still at this point, my son was in the hospital at Tufts. So we relied heavily on our nurses.
Yes.
And my aunt is actually a registered nurse. She's retired now, but she's now also a registered nurse. So I know how important it is for nurses to have the right amount of patients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we all just want to do a good job and take good care of our patients.
Exactly. Now, Patient Safety Act, state legislation.
It is state legislation.
How long has it been on the floor?
Not sure. It's a ballot issue. And I know that it's been in California. They've passed this law since 2004, and it's working very well for the nurses there and mostly for their patients.
Okay, so it's a ballot question. Is it coming up in September or November?
November.
Okay, so we've got plenty of time to learn a little bit more about it.
Yes.
And is there a website that you can direct us to? Or
safepatientlimits.org.
I know I'm putting you on the spot with a lot of these questions.
That's okay.
But you're educating me in the process. So, you know, if you're educating me, you got to be educating them too.
Well, that's great.
How'd you get involved with doing this on a more personal level?
Well, like I said, I'm a registered nurse in a local hospital, and I belong to the Mass Nurse Association, and I know they have been strongly promoting this, and I think it's important for people to hear the opinion of nurses that actually work with the patients at the bedside in the hospitals.
Okay, well, obviously you folks are getting more and more patients assigned to you, which is why you're initiating this ballot
That's right.
question. How have things changed in the past 30 years that it's at this point that you are initiating this? Is it just that,
I think one of the biggest changes is that the people that are in the hospital are sicker.
Okay.
And, you know, so a nurse taking care of this many patients, if they're very sick, is difficult. And, you know, to be doing all the patient care and giving all the medications, you really can only have a certain number of patients, especially if they're more acutely ill.
On average, without this question going through, on average, how many patients do you take care of on your shift?
Well, I work in a different department. I work in a department where we do procedures, so it's a little different. On the floors, I would say they have 6 to 10 patients. The nurses are trying to take care of every day, and depending if they had one patient that had a problem, or say chest pain, and they have to be directly with that one patient, they have all these other patients that are being looked after. So.
And if this ballot initiative passes, what would that bring the limits of patients down to per nurse?
So it depends on how sick the patients are.
Okay.
And then the nurses can, I guess, decide if they can take on more patients that aren't as sick, and be able to do that in a safe way to make sure that they're giving all their patients the care that they need.
And I understand you're not working on the floor anymore, but I'm sure at some point you did.
Yes, I did.
How are different assignments handed out to the patients, or to the nurses regarding the patients, excuse me?
Well, you come in the morning and they're given an assignment of 8 or so patients, and there's so many nurses and so many aides on the floor, and it's kind of just split up.
But it's not based upon, like, you have an expertise on, just to use something simple.
Not usually,
No, it's just, this is
This
assignment.
is yours. You get room 1 through 8, and so those are your patients for the day.
And you don't necessarily also have the same assignment for the same patient. If you have somebody like my son who had an extended stay at the hospital,
right?
A lot of times, pediatrics, they tend to work
Do a
things
little
differently.
Yeah.
But you don't have, like with pediatrics, you don't have, if I'm your patient today, I might not necessarily be your patient tomorrow.
That's true.
So you don't have that bonding ability.
Right. I mean, sometimes you do, but not always. And staff changes every day too. So.
Right. But with something like this, by lowering the patient amounts that each nurse could handle, might that give the hospital more of an opportunity to do some more of that bonding opportunity?
So. Sure, I would hope so. Well, all nurses want is to really take good care of their patients, and that's what gets most nurses frustrated, is that if they go in and their assignment's too big, and they're frustrated. I talk to them all the time, and all nurses just want to take good care of their patients. So the bedside nurses just want to have the time and that they need to be able to do that, because that's what they want, is to give good patient care.
Well, and that's the whole reason why you got involved in nursing to begin with.
Absolutely.
If you didn't want good patient care, you'd be somewhere else.
That's right. It's a great profession, but you got to be able to. The good nurses get frustrated. A lot of them leave because they can't do a good job, and they don't like. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to go to work and feel like they're not giving each patient what they deserve.
Totally understandable. Well, thank you for sharing this. I'm sure people will be checking out that website and taking a look, because I know that a lot of people who've had to go to the hospital, a lot of things that they get frustrated about is that the nurses aren't necessarily
That's
there.
right. They put their light on and no one answers it.
Exactly. And
So-
like I said, I realized my son was in the pediatric wing, but there were a couple of times where, unfortunately, I had to scream out for somebody to come in because.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing what you do.
Well,
thank you for coming on, Donna.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having me. Thank you for having me
Thank
on this
you.
hot day.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Phyllis Jones, and I am joined right now by Campbell and Megan. And I want to thank you both for coming on. Campbell, where do you go to school? Let me ask you first.
Sergeant.
You go to the Sergeant, and I think before we came on, you said you were 10. So did you just finish the 5th grade, or you just finished the 4th grade? I got to keep that right. My son is 10, and you know.
Same with her.
Yeah, same with her. Megan, why don't you tell me a little bit more?
I just finished 5th grade at the Atkinson School, and now I'm going to the middle school.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you like your time at the Atkinson?
It was good.
It was good. Did you like all those phone calls from Mr. Landry? We got every single.
Yeah.
You're gonna love NAMS. My daughter went to NAMS. You're gonna love it. So there are a lot of good kids there. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Now you guys are here to tell us from the kids' point of view about the 5K road race we got coming up in a few days. Campbell, you've been doing this a little longer. You want to tell us a little bit?
So we are both 10 years old. This is my 3rd year running it and her 1st year running it. The Johnson Street Hill is hard, but once you get through it, the race is just a breeze.
It's okay.
If you need to stop. If you need to take a break, it's okay because there will be supporting people helping you through the race. If the 5K is too hard, there is a kids race once around the common for ages 12 and under. So you should come join the fun.
Wonderful. Now, I see you wearing a t-shirt. Is this from this year's race or is that from a
This is for this year's race, but this is a volunteer shirt, but it's the same thing in blue.
It's the same thing in blue, so it'd be blue and white with the red as well?
And it would have all sorts of like stuff on the back.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, sponsors on the back.
There's people who help sponsor
Yeah.
and information about the Boosters Club and
Yeah.
everything. And you're doing it again this year?
Yep.
Are you doing the 5K?
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. And Megan, what about you?
My speech.
What can you tell us about the 5K road race?
So I think the whole road race is a great chance for North Andover and surrounding communities to get together to celebrate our freedom in a safe and healthy way. And this is the 40th year for the 4th of July race, and every year it's great to see the community come together for this event.
Now, let me ask you first, Megan. Why'd you decide to get involved, you personally?
Because my dad runs it. My dad helps out with the race and stuff, so he just asked me to run it.
And you were being a good daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've run it. I've been running it with my dad, but he's had a back injury, so he's not running it anymore.
So you're doing it in honor of your dad?
I'm doing it with my aunt and a couple friends.
Oh wow, that I think it takes a lot of courage for you guys to do 5K running
This is
it.
my first time not doing it with my dad.
I'm sure he's very proud of you for still doing
Yep.
it. Is Dad off there? You want to wave hi to Dad?
Hi.
Hi. Is your dad out there? Right there? You want to wave hi to Dad? Well, to both of your dads, I got to say, you girls are very brave to come on. Not a lot of people can do this.
Yeah.
So we should all go out there and cheer for you on July 4th. And what time does the race start?
8:30.
8:30.
Although the kids' race starts at 8.
8? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, Campbell, Megan, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck with the race.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on board and telling us all about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Phyllis Jones, and we're just going to be wrapping up the show today. I'm going to be speaking because I don't have a teleprompter. So I'd first off like to thank all of our other hosts who were on today. We had Lester Rugg, Sam Levy, and Casey Duran. And we had backstage, I'm looking right at him, Nick Kissel, who is a student here in town, and he's been helping out a lot, doing some background work and helping on the cameras. We still have going on here, even though we're not going to be live and doing interviews, we still have going on the cornhole. Tonight at NAMS, we have at 9 o'clock, we have the fireworks, and the food vendors will be here until about 9 o'clock as well. I'd also like to thank the festival committee for putting this all on, and their sponsors and partners, Pentucket Bank, Wheelabrator, Stop and Shop, Butcher Boy, Urgent Care AFC, and Lowell 5. And on behalf of everybody here at North Andover CAM, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again.